A fascinating situation occurring at the moment. I spoke to Jonathan Conricus yesterday, who declared it to be a very happy day that one of the leaders of Hamas had been assassinated. Israel, I don't think, has yet claimed responsibility for that, but also it has claimed responsibility for the senior Hezbollah commander that was killed in a strike in Beirut. They're vowing all sorts of revenge. What kind of revenge do you think Israel will be expecting to have to put up with?
Well, the last time Iran attacked Israel directly, it came in the form of the biggest ballistic missile attack in history after Russia's initial attack on Ukraine. Back in April, Iran fired 350 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones at Israel, most of which were intercepted, thanks also, by the way, to the support of the Royal Air Force that intervened to defend Israel against Iran. But the important point is this. It's not about how Iran is going to exercise what its leader is calling revenge for the killing of an arch-terrorist on Iranian soil, because Iran has already been attacking Israel since October 7th. Since the beginning of that horrific massacre, when 1,200 people were slaughtered and 250 taken hostage by Hamas, Israel has been under attack by the Iranian regime and its proxy armies on 7 fronts. Hamas is an Iranian proxy army. Hezbollah in Lebanon is an Iranian proxy army. It's been firing 6,500 missiles at Israel over the last 10 months. The Houthi pirates in Yemen have been attacking British ships as well. Another Iranian proxy army firing ballistic missiles and drones at Israel. Add to that militant groups in Syria and in Iraq and in the West Bank as well. And that attack from Iran. And you have an attack by the Iranian regime and its proxy armies against Israel on 7 different fronts. So if the Iranian regime exercises revenge now, it won't be the first time that it will have done it directly from Iranian soil, but it's important to understand this would be nothing new. This would be a continuation of the regional war that the fundamentalist leaders in Iran have been waging against Israel for 10 months now, a regional war on 7 fronts.
Yes, and I mean, if you needed to know whether the West Bank population of Palestine was in any way different from Gaza, you might have been convinced otherwise by the way that they reacted to the assassination in Iran, because they were all out demonstrating in sort of Hamas colours yesterday, weren't they?
Right. Hamas is by far the most popular Palestinian political party. And that's because its vision of destroying Israel, its vision of jihad, its vision of from the river to the sea, which means destroying Israel, remains extremely popular in Palestinian society. Polls show that the overwhelming majority of Palestinians think that the October 7th massacre was the correct decision by the government of Gaza, Hamas, which is horrific. And it shows that if we want to get peace after this horrible war that Hamas started, it's not enough to destroy Hamas. It's not enough to demilitarize Gaza. We also have to de-radicalize Palestinian society. Peace will be possible when there is a Palestinian leader who can turn around not just to his own people, but to the people protesting on the streets of London, chanting from the river to the sea and intifada, and say, no, we don't want that. We want to live next to Israel. We don't want to replace it. We don't want to destroy the country of Israel. But as long as that remains the core of the Palestinians' ideology, it will be impossible to have peace, not in Gaza, not in the West Bank, and certainly not in a context where the Iranian regime is trying to exploit any weakness, any power vacuum to flood the region with weapons, arm terrorist gangs to the teeth, and continue its multi-front war against Israel.
And does the death of Ismail Haniya have any kind of effect on the peace process as such? Because we were hearing a lot of stories yesterday that he was one of those people that Israel was negotiating with at the same time as obviously fighting a war.
Ismail Haniya was one of the arch-terrorists behind the Hamas movement, and Israel has been demanding for 10 months now, you better give us back the hostages or else. And Mr. Haniya discovered the other night what or else means. And I would imagine that down there in hell, he's regretting not releasing the hostages when he had the opportunity. Israel understands if we are to get back the hostages who are being starved and tortured and raped and executed in the Hamas terror dungeons, it won't happen by asking Hamas nicely. It will happen by pressuring them through military pressure and giving them a reason to give the hostages back. And I imagine that Mr. Sinwar, the military leader in Gaza, hiding in a tunnel under some UN school, surrounded by human shields, will be thinking now that if he knows what is best for him, he will release the hostages. Mr. Haniya was not the first Hamas terrorist to have been killed in this war. Israel has been systematically decapitating the whole Hamas leadership. Marwan Issa, Mohammed Def, Ismail Haniya, Salah al-Aruri killed in Beirut. All the top leadership of Hamas are now in hell. And so if their surviving leaders know what is good for them, they will release the hostages because Israel is giving them a reason to.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.